Alright. Make sure everything's working right on YouTube side. Yeah, I see my own stream. Okay, so I'm going to try and push the invocations into 300s for a couple of reasons. But the biggest one being my collection log looks a little bit gross right now at 270 standard raid completions, which is anything under a 300. 3 entry modes, which I don't know why that's in the middle. It feels like that should be on top. It should be like easiest, and then 270 in the middle, and then 17 on the bottom, but whatever. And 17 expert mode completions, which I'd say about half were with a group. So let's have a look at her invocations. Now, I could try this 365 without insanity on. This is a 315. So we've got softcore run, walk for it, needs some help, walk the path, deadly prayers on a diet, living larva, blowing mud, aerial assault, excuse me, and everything for Krondus, everything but double trouble and keep back, boulder dash, and insanity. There's nothing here that I really want to turn on, because overly draining means that I can't 2 down the warden, and specs are 100% of my energy, so it means that it's a little bit more problematic for using a Kara spec, but not the end of the world. Dehydration is just straight up not a good choice for me because I'm bad. That would basically mean that I can't use the white potions, which I could probably... Let me think about this. Could I get away with running dehydration for the 30 raid level? Because I don't use brews except for just kind of... Well, Yeah, because I would have the adrenaline potion during the last phase where I normally use brews. But it would mean that I probably wouldn't be able to 2 down. It would cause it to be a 3 down because I wouldn't have as many DDS specs. So maybe not the smartest move to do that. Yeah, probably not going to try that one. The other thing is paths. I've been thinking about just saying screw it and trying Pathfinder instead of Insanity, because I feel like that's gonna have a much better chance of me getting through this alive. But if I were to learn Pathfinder and Insanity, all of a sudden there's a 405, and we're up to 5.3% on the staff if I happen to hit the purple table, which at a 400 I think is like almost a 10% chance or something ridiculous. So I think I'm going to start with a 315. I'm not going to try Insanity. That gives me softcore. I'm just double checking for my own sanity here. So we got Deadly Prayers. I think Deadly Prayers is the only one on here that I don't usually have on. Oh, and needs some help. Okay, that makes sense. We'll start with a 315, and if I make it through that, I'll ramp up from there. If I don't make it through that, we'll probably try it again, because this is as easy as I can reasonably make this raid for myself without dipping it back in underneath a 300 and defeating the purpose of what I'm trying to do right now. So, and I know there's people out there that are running like over 500s solo. The thing is, the way I look at it is if you can't complete the raid with 100% consistency, it doesn't make sense ramping up the difficulty. If I were to, say, have a 50-50 chance, a 50% clear rate of raids that I run with Insanity mode, it's not worth spending twice the amount of time for a 50-point invocation to me. But I really do need to learn Insanity, so it is what it is. So we'll start with the Shaman. Take out the melees as quickly as possible before that happens. See if I can get out of the way. There we go, good. And... okay, still took a 9, but that's fine. Oh, that still hit me, really? So now I need Piety to be able to one-shot these fellows. And we ignore the Shaman just for a second while I sort out the one-shot on him. Avoid the explosion, shoot that guy, hit this, Piety back on. There's just so much going on with prayer management in this room that I often kind of lose track. As long as you don't get something exploding on you or accidentally take damage from like a, you know, a room damage thing. It's usually fine. I typically like to just keep spray melee on as much as possible. No, you don't. Okay, I'm gonna run over here and deal with this because it's not covered in poison yet. See if I can get out of here. And shoot the shaman. I'm gonna run over to here just because I kind of can. Get rid of some more of these. I think this might be the last wave coming up. Is there one more? Yeah, there it is. So I gotta get off of this, walk back here, use the potion. There we go, beauty. Then I can just one-shot these two. And I think we're good. I really should count the waves in this room instead of just kind of panicking my way through it, but... all told, it could have gone worse. It's enough health to where I don't really need to worry about a Kara spec coming into the boss fight, so we're going to switch to our melee gear with a BGS. And since I don't really care where my mage gear ends up in here, I'm just going to move this like this. Does the spec hit? 12, so kind of. And 41, beautiful. So what I learned the last time is I can get hilariously comboed by the monkeys in this room if I'm not careful. Because they were, I think it might have hit me an 18 the last time at some point, which just feels disrespectful. Also, oh shit, I didn't see the shadow. That's 18 damage from the shadow, but that's fine. Also, I thought he was supposed to spawn 2 at a time each time. Maybe it's only 1 in the first round. Why am I missing so much? There we go. Yeah, I knew he was going to do that. Except it should be phased? Okay. Didn't want to take an off-prayer hit there. Okay. See if we can get the first... No. Gonna need at least one more. Perfect. Actually, I think I was 1 tick late on the run, but that's fine. Beautiful. Down to 45% already. So we got a little bit unlucky on our first round, if you will. I don't even think this is going to hit me. Oh, maybe. 32.9%. Alright. I can't believe I just did that. I don't know what possessed me to try to do that, but I apparently just melee'd it in full crystal without even switching to my full melee gear and was still fine. So I don't know what happened at the start of this fight, but I had such bad accuracy that I actually just dealt more damage in crystal using melee than I did with my full melee setup at the start. In fairness, I just missed, I think 4, or was that 5 shots in a row? So, it is what it is. Alright, full melee switch this time. And, oh, whoops. Got more than enough spec to just start blasting. Done. Alright, 315, and we're only 3 sips of Prey Pot into the first boss. I've done worse than that. And given that I messed up some of my swaps for some reason, first raid of the day, I mean, it is what it is. But even with that, I was still hitting accurately, so we'll just call out the power of the Fang. Hey, we got the 1 in 5. I don't have to run back and forth one extra time because we ended and started on the same one. Let's see if we can get it under 1 minute. I think it's going to be 1 minute and 1 second if I had to guess. Oh, 1 minute and 2. Damn. Hey, we actually landed a hit. We get to start Kephri with a BGS hit. Alright. It's a really good sign for a 315. I think I even just max hit a 41 a second ago. I always find lazy flicking with a Fang at Kephri just a little bit awkward because your attack cycle and Kephri's attack cycle at this level are separated by 1 tick. So every once in a while you can get an extra attack, basically. But if you time it wrong and get greedy, you're getting blasted, so... Where's the blowpipe? Oh, 1 HP. Come on now. Don't do that to me. Okay. Wrong helm anyway. There's the backpack. Alright. Don't have much time to shoot things now, but that's fine. I feel like they all spawned on the other side for me, so that's a little annoying. Oh no. Why did I do that? I am stupid. Looked at a different monitor just for the exact wrong time, so because of that weird tick interval thing, I can actually just make it put fireballs here, and then attack it twice. Which is not the most efficient use of my time here, but I can do it, so I might as well. Just want to make sure I don't get crap on the wrong spot at this point and block the mage by accident. Mind you, the time that I did that and had to switch to a Bofa whether I wanted to or not, that is the fastest I think I've ever done the melee and the mage scarabs. Now, in fairness, I got lucky and hit high. Oh, shit. No. Okay, that's just not worth it now. Almost got AoE'd by the, actually don't know what that thing is called. The Kamikaze Scarab anyways. Oh, it doesn't have a right click, never mind. Just gonna go ahead and move right over to here at this point. Get the entire quadrant up this way, so I'm gonna get it to crap on this corner. And we're all set. just gonna dump my specs on it. Might as well. I'm not gonna need them. Alright, 10%. Ideally, I'd take it down pretty much immediately. Alright, one shot. Perfect. So now I've got this nice little 3 here, and it can't double crap me, so there should be no chance that I get stuck here. But the next time that it poops, I'll move around the corner. I think there's ways to manipulate it into doing what you want to over here, and like getting multiple uses out of the vertical lanes like this, but I haven't ever really messed around with Kephri too much, so... It's just an easy enough boss to where, unless I try to do like a 400 plus invocation or put on more Kephri invos like the medic one or the more overlords or something, there's nothing I really have to learn or do differently to this. It's just a very consistent boss that requires a little bit of patience. So, let's see if we got screwed over by the friendly spirit here. I don't know if power can have less on 66%. I'm hopeful that I don't end up seeing a situation where I only have 1 salt. But even if I do, it'd be totally fine coming into this room. So we're just gonna move a little bit around here. I just like to be in mage gear for this room for reasons. Salt, and good to go. I'll just take the damage, I don't care. I really do need to learn how to avoid damage and run diagonally in this room, but at the same time I have a Keris that I can use, so do I really need to? Worst case scenario, I take a whole bunch of damage in here, I use a Keris spec, I wait maybe 10 seconds, and then I only get 1 BGS instead of 2. Not the end of the world. 46 XP on HP means that's a one-shot. And that room's done. Two bosses down, 2 to go. Let's go for zebak. I'll take a 49. It's good enough. I don't need to waste the other one. Always nice to see my my Thrall and my Bofa hit 1 at the same time there. The double ones. Oh, should have stayed. I think we're going right to the next phase here, aren't we? Like, as soon as those waves are over, we're into the solve. Yeah, there it is. It looks like it's giving me an easy one here. I don't think I'm within melee range right now. I hope I'm not anyways. I'm gonna move anyway. I don't trust that. I really should mark the melee range, but I know that that isn't on it, and that's 1 block further. Oh. Oh, crap. Well, at least it's waves from the far side while I'm gonna have to deal with this situation. I mean, they're really not that big of a problem, they're just inconvenient. kind of hoping that we could do enough DPS to get it to 25%. So unless this is a max hit, which it actually pretty much did bring him down to 25% there. So we're kind of skipping some of the frenzied phase at the very end here, because we're just getting free damage on it at this point. Don't see that every day. Usually it frenzies at 25% and starts attacking super quickly. And it should be doing that any second now. Here it goes. But because it was doing its wave attack there, its whatever you want to call that, the I usually call it the acid solve, honestly. Because it was doing that bullshit, I got to take it down to like 18% before it got to frenzy. So that's sick. We got loads of supplies left now. And only one more boss. And it is a level 2 akka, so I've got to worry about the middle attack hitting 5 times. And I've got more supplies than I could possibly need at this point for akka. I actually... Wait, did I just get through that with 0 restore usage? I think I did. Damn. I was hitting like a truck, so I'm not surprised, but... You love to see it. Anyway, we're going to put that mirror there, break that first, push it over. Why did I do that? I meant to put it here. I know you don't need to do that, but it just feels right. I'll take 20 damage to not have to do this little minigame twice, that's fine by me. We have 2 minutes left on Assault, but if I right-click and withdraw one, then it's going to bring one out of here, so I should be fine that way. Yeah, let's do it. Whoops. %. Come on now, don't be mean. There it is, 80. And I wasted an attack. That's fine. Come on. I'm just gonna stay on range for right now, but I'm gonna move to here. And actually I am gonna switch to melee because it's hit me enough times that there's no chance that it doesn't switch, right? There it is. So because I basically have all the supplies that I brought in with me, I'm not going to be shy about wasting my my potions. So we got yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. I'll need to resalt sometime, probably before the next little puzzle like that. So maybe during the next shadow. Nice. Like to get within melee range of the shadow before it changes, so I don't have to deal with any of the, you know, that BS. And we'll resalt. There we go. Switch to range gear temporarily. 51. Beautiful. Love to see that. Yellow, white, red, black, yellow. If it was being efficient, I could take the overhead off, but one less thing to worry about, you know? I will say I'm taking a lot of damage here, though. So at some point I'm going to have to Kara spec midway through this fight, I'm thinking. What's it at? 37%? Okay. I'll try to do it after the next time that it goes through the melee phase, though. We'll see how much damage it does to me, really. Black, red, black, red, white. And I missed some of my gear. I gotta reposition a little here. There we are. Yeah, I was gonna say it should switch to range here shortly. No, don't move. Okay, that would have probably been really bad if I had have actually moved when I yellow clicked there, but we're all good. Okay, he's doing the center game. Get yellow, black, red, black, red. I'm gonna go ahead and Kara spec right now. Resummon the thrall. Alright. We have 111 HP to play with here. Hopefully I can take 10% down before it does the switch. No, I didn't. So I'm gonna have to range swap real quick here. And then melee swap again in a sec. Wasn't fast enough to catch him, but it's right here anyway, so oh, move. So that's fine. Actually, I think I was probably safe where I was. I'm kind of terrible at this part, so I'm going to try and be a little bit slower and more cautious, because I've got literally shit tons of prayer to work with here. Oh, is that going to... yeah, that's going to get me from the diagonal. Oh, I walked right into that. Okay, no, we're good. We're all good. We're all good. I hit a 9, but we were good until I hit a 9. Feel like a thrall here. There we go, 22. Got out of that with almost 80 HP left. And I know you can use the TrueTile plugin and do that whole thing and tag them and have squares shooting across your screen. I don't. Chaos is almost as good as life in this situation. But life has given me 2 scarabs, so we've got lots of Karis specs available to us. And 2.5 restores left at the end of a 315. Seems like a lot. So, we're gonna need to be ready to melee spec. I'm gonna want pink, yellow, that, white, and blue. Okay. I'm not 100% sure how much damage the orbs are gonna do, so I'm probably going to drink a yellow potion into an Ambrosia or a Kara spec, depending on how I feel, depending really on how this goes. Anyway, let's see. So we had a swing and a miss. 40, that's a pretty big hit, but it's not really great. And we'll step off on 69, and I will drink 1 sip of the yellow potion, because I've only got 35%... Oh. Actually, you know what, I still might Kara spec, because I've still got lots of spec left, but I guess I kind of need to hold on to it for... You know, we'll see what happens. I'll wait and see. We could have super low hits for all I know. So 40 and the next one's not going to do 46. But if I'm under 16, then... Oh, 19. Okay. So I should probably drink the ambrosia. But I could 100% just care a spec right now. But I'm just going to drink the ambrosia. So now we only have one of those to use as an emergency. And if we had gotten better hits here, we would have saved a lot of HP. That's disappointing. Really? You're gonna hit a goddamn 1 in this situation? Okay, that's fine. It's fine by me. If we get hit by a third set of orbs, I'm going to be livid. Alright, we're good. So we need mage set, we need this to be here, and... I don't really know how I'm going to heal yet. I haven't decided, but I'm going to resalt now so I don't have issues. And I'm kind of thinking I might just brew through this. But it might make this take a little longer, so that's the like, I could ambrosia. I'm gonna brew, now would be the time to though, so I think I'm gonna use them here. I'll use 3 of them right now anyways, and we'll call that good enough. Because that's enough to where I don't really have to worry too much about, I shouldn't have to worry too much about healing for the rest of this fight. So we only have 8 seconds left on the adrenaline because that took so goddamn long. So I'm going to use another one and pray that this doesn't hit me. I'm still going to step here just to be sure. Probably would have, because fuck me, my clicking is terrible. So that's going to be a 3 down because I've just completely screwed that. 3... 4, and we're only going to get 1 more hit, so I'll just save the spec here, switch to range. We would have had a 6 hit there if I hadn't misclicked, but that's totally fine. A little bit panicked, because I don't usually run this Eye of an Invocation, so... Not used to having to tank 2 of the attacks through the previous Warden phase, for example. So since this is definitely not going to be a 2 down now, I don't really have to worry about doing things perfectly, but it would have been good to not fuck that up completely. I was thinking more I don't have to worry so much about holding on to as much of my spec. Because I can use a Kara spec a little bit later on in this, so I'll just hit this with as many as this hits with. Like I get 8 technically, so I'll do 7, and then if we get the... Okay, yeah. I really fucked that. First run of the day. We'll chalk it up to that, or at least I will. Haven't messed up anything too horribly yet, so it's still salvageable. And what are we at? 41 HP? Oh no. Almost got goobered. I do want to keep my prayer nice and high though. Don't you do that. Come on now. 29 HP. Can I wait and then Kara spec between, like, going into the next phase? That's really the question. If I don't get here in time, okay, that was almost real bad. Oh shit, I gotta run. I absolutely hate the Thunder Skills. It is the thing that's gotten me killed the most, I would say. Alright, we've made it to here. Just going to lazily click my way into this. We need to use 2 of these, and then tap, and then do I have enough for a Kara spec? Will it let me do that? Yes, it will. Beautiful. I think we got all that gear on even. Hot damn. What I didn't get is a Scarab out yet, though, so I need to switch to the correct prayer. Probably hit 1 more of the Howard Stern's Penis, Potion of Elidinus. And yeah, no, we should be set now. Not entirely sure how the Karas ended up on the top of my inventory. That doesn't happen all the time, but that's fine. I'm going to switch these 2, just because if I am going to go for a BGS spec on the last phase, then I like it to be in the very top left, just in case I get the desire to. So that's going to be the end of that. So we got Thunder Skulls. We're going to open this, grab one of these, and then spam click. Nine seconds on the thrall, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab another one right now. We should have basically infinite prayer at this point, but I do want to be a little bit cautious with it because I've only got one white potion. Which means that my primary mode of healing right now is going to be the Keris spec. If I screw something up really badly, I mean, like if I... For example, it does that bullshit and hits me for one phase after its attack. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I'm either going to use the Keris spec, or I might even just use a... I don't know. I'm just going to drink that one back. That was just some bullshit. Whoops, didn't have my offensive prayers on, that's offensive. Given how much DPS that adds. And at 40%, Tumakin's Warden's going to add some more BS to the fight, where I have to avoid some rocks falling from the sky, but the secret is, the only time I ever really have to dodge them is right now. So we dodge one. We hope it doesn't pray mage. Okay, no, we're good. This is gonna auto-dodge. Done. We fire twice, and we move. And we're back in cycle, and we can just completely ignore the rocks. Because they will always be somewhere else than where we're standing. So I have a minute and a half left on that salt, so I'm going to crush the last one. Move the scarab down just for personal preference. Oh, we're into this phase. Okay. So we dodge one rock. I see chat moving, but I'm not looking away until the end of the fight. Sorry, we dodge a second rock. We hope it don't have to pray range, because if I do, I just might have to eat an attack here. We're good. And that's the last of the skull skips. Can you explain the last phase? Sorry, bear with me. There's only certain times that I can look. When it begins... What do you think and how to react correctly? So, usually for the last phase, I like to do a BGS spec if I have enough spec for it. And it kind of is dependent on my Keris spec situation. So, if I don't feel like I'm really comfortable, then I won't BGS spec. And I'll save it for the Keris spec. Other than that, and I BGS spec in full crystal, I don't even fuck around with it. I just throw piety and a BGS on, and like 80% of the time it hits. So, it's good enough. So, this, and immediately click to move the hell out of the way of that, and we get a 33, that's good enough. I'm going to switch back, sort the prayers out. Now, because I know I can move 3 times and then attack, to sort out my attack tick rate, basically, I've got a pretty good internalization of the game's tick rate anyway, just because it is what it is. And we'll ignore my misclicks, though. But basically, if you're having trouble figuring out when to move, or when to attack or whatever, 1, 2, 3, click. That's basically the rule for a 4-tick weapon, because every 4th tick you're attacking. Now, for the... oh shit, that's gonna hit me. For the lightning on the ground, if you move onto the shadow, on the same game tick that the lightning actually strikes, I'll try to show it here, you do not take damage. So if you have to last row, which... depends on, really, luck, raid invocation, how much DPS you've got. Then you'll have to learn how to do that trick. So watch right here. Okay, well it died, but that wouldn't have hit me. If you have any other questions, now that I'm not panicking and my heart rate can come back down, feel free to ask. That is a 4.97% chance at a purple, and I did not get it. And if I had had a purple, then it would have been a 4.2 or a 4.5. I'm not actually sure at this invocation chance at a 900 million coin payday. But I still made 417k off of that raid minus supplies. And whatever this ends up being. Another another 72k. Death runes, I think, are the worst possible case scenario out of that. But yeah, Christian, if you have any questions, I'm going to take maybe 2 minutes or so between runs here to stretch. And maybe warm up my cup of coffee at this point. But I'd be happy to discuss as much as you want. For anyone curious about the invocations, that was a 315, I think? Or a 365 if you want to throw Insanity on. I've been thinking about maybe trying Pathfinder. Pathseeker seems just kind of like, if you're going to do one, why would you go 15 points instead of 40, you know? But I think if I do Pathfinder, that's either going to mean that I'm going to have to learn to wave skip, or, I don't know, Akka is just going to be a pain in the ass, because it's going to be hitting so much through prayers that it's... yeah, you know, isn't that great? The original plan was to just run this with Insanity on, and that would be a 4.5%, but I don't know. Maybe when I come back I'll try 365 and see if that goes well. If that doesn't go well, then I'll adjust some of these and try and go for something higher than a 315. Alternatively, what would that even mean? Probably keep back would be a bit of a free invocation as long as I'm paying attention. I really don't want to have to deal with more overlords because it's just a pain. I actually don't know if you can... So, I've never really messed around too much with a lot of the mechanics of Kephri, so I'm not sure about this, but if you poop trap the melee, can you just ignore it and leave it there for the entire fight? Like, do you have to kill it, or not? Either way, it seems like it'd be a pain. I would have to deal with poop trapping, and it would make Kephri less than a 100% clear rate, let's put it that way. Honestly, I think I'm coming back to a 315. I'm going to take 5 minutes just to, you know, stretch my hands, warm up my coffee, and get myself ready for another raid. But if you have any questions, drop them in chat. I'm just going to grab my pre-pot. And I will be back in just a sec. Alright, so, oh, I'm an idiot. I just put my coffee in the microwave, warmed it up, and came back without it. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Alright, where was I? So, what I would actually like to do at this point is take about 30 seconds to calculate my percent chance of basically doubling my entire bank value. So we had a 5% chance of hitting the purple table. So, what is that? That's 1 in 20. And if we hit it, it is a 4.2% chance. And I'm too stupid right now to figure out the odds of that. But it is 5% multiplied. So I guess I could just do 0.05 times 0.042, which is a 0.0021% chance, basically, per raid. That doesn't seem right. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's around a 1 in 300, just by my napkin math guesstimation, and I'm saying that because when I did the math on it being 4% of 4%, it was 1 in 400. But I'm now questioning that. Doesn't matter. Either way, we're going to try and run a 315 again, because that felt just at the cusp of uncomfortable. There were some bosses that I struggled with more than expected, but I actually ended up with a hilarious amount of supplies by the time we got to Akka. So I'd like to run a 315 a couple of times, I think, before moving on to try and do a little bit of a harder raid. And then we'll scale it back down a little and take off some of the bullshit, and then learn Insanity on another stream, maybe. Or perhaps on the next raid. I'll keep it around a 300 if I'm going to learn Insanity, but we'll basically have a 250 that's got Insanity mode on, or like a 270 or something. I'm not going to run 365 as a introduction to Insanity. That seems like a really bad idea. I don't think I'd have any really big trouble getting through the actual raid itself or anything. It's just, if I'm going to try Insanity mode, I don't want it to take as long as it would probably take at that raid level. So I don't need to pray on these two. And that somehow set it off. Okay, not even going to question it. And if I can bow swap fast enough and get that bastard before he runs away, there we go. That gets me away from that one, that kills that one, and I get away from the acid spreader. Awesome. Okay. So probably just gonna pray that I don't run into that, basically. Gonna pray mage till I get rid of these ones. Then switch to melee. Switch that off, wait for this exploder to come in here and just kind of do one of these. Oh crap, I was one tile off. Whatever, it took out both the melees, so it sort of was helpful. I'm not great at the monkey room, okay? There are parts of it that I really should learn a little bit differently. Like, what I should do is memorize what order certain enemies come out and get better at, you know, using the exploding monkeys more effectively. Because I really don't. But at the same time, we got through it. Oh shit, I didn't actually hit that one. I thought I got an XP drop. So if I don't hit this in time, I might actually... Why am I praying range right now? How did... Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little upset about that. I got hit for a 51 on the last tick because I didn't realize that there was a small monkey attacking me. So we do have a solution to this situation that I've put myself in. And that solution is the Kephri Partisan of the Sun. And now there's no more problem. Sucks that I had to do that because it just used most of my spec. But because I'm not running... Oh wait, did I get this in under 40 minutes last time? 36:20, so yeah, okay. I guess I don't really have time to dick around. I'll just go directly into the fight, and I will maybe try to throw a BGS spec at it. Oops, if I feel like it. We'll go with that. I know I'm at 45% right now, but I can just switch out after the first attack. Or second attack, maybe. Or third attack, maybe. Come on, spec. There we go. I'm just going to wait until it does that. Beautiful. Okay, we got a 67 BGS. That was 100% worth. And I'm going to move to here because, yeah, that's what I thought that asshole was going to do. It really likes to combo the overhead throw, I find, with the rock attack. Or not the rock attack, but the, the shadow on the ground. Did the damage from the peel just do 18 to me right now, or am I just hallucinating something? Because that would explain where I got an 18 from the last time. It wasn't because I was taking an off-prayer hit from a... Okay. I was a bit worried about that, because if the range attack of those monkeys was hitting me an 18 the last time, that would have been a problem. If I stepped on the banana peels and it hit me an 18, that's a little bit of a different story. I haven't really done a whole lot of raids since they changed it, so Baba's a little bit interesting. I think it used to hit way harder through prayer. And because I actually just slammed it with a BGS spec, there's no incentive for me to switch back to melee gear. Like, I gotta go from 45 to 33 and then switch back to range gear anyway. But with this gear, I can run around where the hell I want to. Like, if I want to run from here to the other one, I can. Oh, that was a poor decision. But I still could, and then I could run away from this attack and not have to worry about missing an attack. You know. I'll admit that I've done a lot less damage than I was hoping to in that time frame, but that's more just low rolls rather than not hitting. We'll blame it on the fact that I never put on my Missouri assembler. Or at least I will. And to add insult to injury, we'll just continue chunking Baba while it can't even attack me. I would feel a lot worse about this, but I know that the meta at one point for high invo Baba, because it hit so hard through prayers, was to just not even really do the fight and to red exit. And just prevent Baba from even ever being able to attack you as long as you didn't mess up your timing. Anyway, it's enough of that. Given how the last tick of the monkey room consumed so much of my health, we're a little bit lower on supplies this time. Hopefully we manage a BGS spec on Kephri like we did last time, but I wouldn't really count on it. I do kind of think that the Bone Dagger is the way to go versus Kephri. I don't know why, but I think it is actually more accurate than the BGS. Or it might just be a matter of like the damage scaling thing on Kephri. I know that your max hit is kind of reduced against Kefri's shield phase. Because, I mean, my max hit with the Fang and Piety, I don't think it should be as low as 41, but that's what it is on Kephri, so... Ah well, I should learn these mechanics a little bit more fluently, but at the same time, if you can do the raid consistently, do you really need to learn all the ins and outs of it? Sometimes it's better not to learn how the sausage is made and just enjoy the content. Whoops. Okay, did not get my prayer on in time, but I Fang spec'd Kephri. Okay. Well. Didn't even get my BGS on in time, apparently. Never mind then. Still missed the BGS spec either way. Just gonna kind of move some of that around a little bit. Let's see. When I go to switch to blowpipe, I really should spend a bit of this boring part of the fight switching up my inventory so it doesn't mess everything up as bad when I switch gear. Oh shit. Okay, that was awkward. Oh, I forgot those deal damage too. It's been so long since I've actually taken damage from one that it didn't even occur to me. Here's what I was waiting for. Alright. Let's go ahead and deal with the ranged one. We're far enough away that that exploding beetle is not going to be a problem for hopefully 3 full attack cycles. But not enough to kill it. Okay, there we go. It's still over 100%. I guess I didn't do as well as I thought. This feels greedy, but I'm going for it anyway. You know what? I'll take it. I got 103 XP drop off of the BGS spec. I didn't even see what the damage was. I'll just take it. It's good enough. It helped. It's not that it's a difficult fight or anything, it just feels super boring to fight Kephri. When things go wrong, it gets, like, very hectic, don't get me wrong. There are situations that I've encountered while fighting Kephri that are much less boring, but it's usually when I double poop myself and end up stuck in a tiny area and try to bofa Kephri before it completely goes wrong. Anyway, we're going to attack the mage now, so I might as well get out, oops, smack on the way past. Movement was pretty bad on my part on that one. Okay, that's dealt with. That's dealt with just as he wakes up. Perfect. And now as long as I don't misplay anything, I realistically shouldn't take any more damage. And then I accidentally walked one step. Don't mind me, I'll just screw this up right as I say, as long as I don't screw this up. Kind of my trademark. Alright, let's let's go around the corner. It's got a lot of HP left. Oh shit. It's at 2.9%. If I had have actually landed the attack that I tried to land, that would have happened. And I would have been stuck in that little alcove. That would have been really bad. I'm glad that didn't happen. Reasons to maybe consider not summoning a thrall at Kephri's last phase after the mage and melee have shown up. Anyway, 2 down. We get to take some free stuff from the lonely stranger over here. It's a very helpful spirit, whatever he is. And looking at this, we get level 1, level 1. I think I'm going to do level 1 Krondus. And hopefully we'll have the same situation where I basically don't use any of this. Why don't you upload videos anymore? Well, I mean, the short answer is because the person that I was looking after, and that was eating up most of my time to do so, had passed away. I just kind of lost the drive to do really anything creative at all. I haven't even been playing most video games in that time frame, so I'm just kind of coming back to RuneScape because I've seen a lot of people from the World of Warcraft community mostly just kind of abandoning other MMOs in favor of RuneScape, and it got me kind of thinking about the game again, and I've been kind of considering posting some videos of this, but I feel like streaming a little bit of it and trying out the content that I would mostly be doing on stream a little bit seemed like a better thing to invest a little bit of time in rather than trying to make a bunch of videos and commit that kind of time to. This is just more fun, to be honest. But I probably will end up making some videos out of RuneScape content at some point. I just don't exactly know what I want to make. I've considered just going through Slayer and making a guide for every Slayer monster that exists, since I've only got 94, and you need 95 to be able to take on all the different Slayer tasks, so I've kind of got an incentive to go and do some Slayer just to get that last level. Or potentially 99 for the cape, but haven't really decided. I guess I should probably summon a Thrall, and oh my god, 69 damage. A little bit slow on the swap there, and we'll go for the 4-tick run, but anyway, Rusticrondus here, or Zebak rather, should be just a cakewalk. Unless it does that. Right when it's gonna do this. Son of a bitch. Alright, we're all good. But to be honest, I'm going to make my way all the way back to where I was, just because I like my little safe zone. Even if it is kind of the worst place to be with this wave situation coming up, but that's fine. Oh, no, it was good there. Less good here. There we go. Well, I appreciate that. And, as I say, if I get the time to, I probably will. Just see how the days go. Well, that's about the easiest self I've ever seen. I didn't even know it could spawn a pot directly next to a rock. I've never seen that happen. Don't really need to, but I'm going to take one dose of that just so that I can summon my last Thrall for this round. And we're going to have to deal with waves from the top still because it's only at 44%. I almost managed to skip the final phase the last run, but that is not going to happen this time. No, I didn't even see it do the mage attack. Oh, just lost a bit of HP that I didn't need to lose, but we're on 79. As long as I don't have some sort of, like, horrendous mistake right here, then we should be more than fine. Like, I'm just gonna chug another potion and just, like, leave all my prayers on. That's a little concern I have for the situation. Oh shit. Okay, I could actually end up dead. Of course it does that to me and summons those right on top of me. Ah well, at least it stayed mage the entire time and I didn't have to pray switch. I got just a little bit hectic, more than I was expecting it to. You can push the thing that clears the venom in a diagonal? Yeah, totally. You can push them, you can shoot them while they're rolling. You can right-click and destroy them where they are if you want to just explode them directly where they are as well. Which is something that took me an embarrassingly long time to learn. If you haven't done this room as well, there's a sort of a skip. It depends on what mining level you are. Before they changed raids fairly recently, this is okay, super easy solve. Before they changed raids recently, if you were, I'm gonna wait for this to shoot, sorry, 1 second. If you were level 85 mining, then you had to do this annoying little thing that I'm gonna do this time anyway, just out of habit. Okay, whenever these are done. But if you click on the het seal from 1 block away from it, the exact same game tick that it turns green in the center here, you'll get 1 additional tick of damage against it. So you see how I walked up and started mining it before it had even cleared the walls. When you had under 85 mining, I think it was like a 0% chance to 1 down it, and if you had 85, it was like a 90% chance if you did that. But they've now given you 1 additional damage tick against it, so you don't actually have to do that if you're 85 or above. But if you're under 85, I think you might be able to 1 down it, if you have like a rune or a dragon pickaxe. If you're like between 65 and 85. Not really useful, but I mean, if you have to do that puzzle a lot and you just haven't leveled up your mining, you know, kinda handy. Just sort of thinking about how I want to approach this, so it's all the way on the other side. I don't have to pray melee, because, like, realistically it's way the hell over there. I don't expect that it's going to be able to hit me, but I just really don't like taking an off-prayer hit for, like, 60, so... If you're better at butterflying than me, then, you know, you don't take hits, but I'm actually taking a couple of hits intentionally. Because when the shadow spawns, I'm going to get up right beside it here. And between one of the attacks here, I'm going to switch to melee. And forgot the prayer, whoops. The reason for that is this is going to switch to range fairly soon anyway, so we got a 5-1, so that's yellow, white, yellow, white, yellow. If I had killed the shadow fast enough while wearing the range gear, I probably still would have had to switch into melee gear anyway, and I'd rather get as much damage in as I can on akka. If I lose a damage tick or 2 on the shadow, it's not much of a concern. I'm actually very close to max melee. I'm 450,000 XP off of 99 defense, but... well, prayer, but... Still need that. Not max combat yet, obviously. Okay, so it's gonna be a prick, which means I should switch to range and shoot this. You could run 2 squares at a time if you really want to, but why take the risk? I'm going to have to switch to range when akka switches to melee anyway, and that's going to be right around the time that the shadow dies. Unless I don't win the DPS race. Holy shit, I might actually have some trouble. Black, red, white. And that's the other benefit of being on range, is that you can at least get a few free shots in during that little minigame. Anyway, I'm going to keep this all the way up because at some point I'm going to want to Kara spec. But thankfully it hasn't really been hitting too hard through prayers. There's a way to skip the damage if you actually fail the DPS race here by walking back and forth in a particular way, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. Like, functionally I know how it works, but I don't have the tiles marked or anything like that, so if I tried to do it I would almost assuredly die. What I would do instead is Kara spec right before it hits, and then just tank it with the 125 or 120 whatever HP I end up with. And just, oh shit, hope for the best. Okay, black, yellow, white, yellow, white. The oh shit there was that I thought it was about to do the orb spec and I was about to take damage because I ran 3 squares instead of 2, if you're wondering. I'm gonna have to switch to range in a second here. But I have better luck with the Fang, I feel like, so I'm just gonna... Okay. Really don't like having that situation where you lose the DPS race against the Shadow. It's pretty rare that it happens, but it has ended a run for me before, so... I really should learn how to skip that right. So the next switch is going to be the center area here, so it's yellow, black, red, white, yellow right around the circle. And hopefully that's 20%. Nice. So it's not going to switch while I'm moving. I've died more times to not really paying attention to that spec where it places balls on the ground every time that you move. So if you're wondering why I'm being so neurotic about that, it has gotten me with that a few times. More times than I'd like to admit. I feel like the more times I shame myself out loud for it, the less times I'm likely to fall for it in the future, you know? So I'm going to keep my prayer completely full here because this is going to be an annoying situation because it's going to switch to melee now. Which means I should switch to range. Oh shit. I didn't see the first one. I'm hoping it was yellow because it was something black, red, white, yellow. So this is going to be really awkward, but I'm going to have to Kara-spec immediately because the next hit's going to kill me otherwise. Okay. Not when I wanted to Kara-spec, but shit, I'll take it. I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to have to Kara-spec pretty soon. Okay, fine. Fine by me. Please switch to range so that I can switch to melee without having to... Okay, no, we're actually gonna do that. Alright, cool. I don't have to worry about it now. So I can do this, and then if you right-click Akka before Akka disappears, you can actually red-click to attack Akka as soon as he appears so that you kind of auto-path to it before the orbs show up, usually. I'm unclear as to whether Prey Mage still reduces the damage from these, but shit, I got the prayer for it, I might as well keep it on. And if you didn't know, melee thralls can damage Akka during this phase without moving them. Which, if you're like 1 damage off from clearing it, and you're really low HP, like let's say I had like 1 HP right now, I could just leave the thrall. That'd be fine. It could just finish this for me. I'm not gonna actually take that long, I'll finish it with the 2 damage that I can deal, but it is pretty useful. That's probably the most useful little trick that I've learned at Akka lately. That melee thralls actually work, which, fantastic. Because I goddamn hate that phase. Everyone hates that phase, I think, because Jagex did reduce the amount of expectorants, shall we say, by, I think, 33%, something like that. Hey, we got a double ambrosia. Nice. I can be a complete pig with my supplies in that case. I don't have to worry about Kara-specking or really anything. But we only got 1... Okay. That's actually best case scenario. I mean, if I had gotten more scarabs, it would have been fine, but this is fine. So I like to organize my inventory so that everything's around this. My single click resupplies that. You can shift right click it to change that with Rune Light if you didn't know. So we're going to go ahead and grab the spec weapon here and start hammering with the BGS specs. And I forgot to drink a blue pot, so that's fine. And we're just going to go for a third one, I guess. Screw it. We only had a 16 and an 11, but that's life. So I'm at 66 HP, which is less than I'd intended to be at, but that's fine. I'll use 1 dose of the yellow because my salt is going to bring that back anyway. And the only thing I have to do for this phase is move between these 2 marked yellow squares. I'm going to use an ambrosia after these 2 orbs hit me anyway, so there's no reason to lazy flick. I'm literally sitting here drinking a coffee. Gargling a coffee into a microphone. Pretending I'm a murloc, you know. Having a grand old time. And as long as I don't do something really stupid, like step into the damage zone or misclick this, I don't even have to do shit all until those next orbs come. I'll have to ambrosia before the first one hits me, or I'll, you know, die, but that's fine. I'll probably Kara-spec the second one at this rate, though. I would have done it with the first one, but I need 45%, and I'm only at 40 right now because the BGS just failed me completely. So I might be Kara-specking during the next phase. I'm probably just going to go for a 3 down. Because looking at this, I'm probably... So, on the lower invos, I get a 2 down consistently. Oh shit, I don't even have a thrall up. That's how long this has taken. It's actually bypassed my thrall, and now I've summoned a totally useless one. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and start trying to pay a little more attention to not screwing this up completely, because I want this here, What the okay, there we go. No, we're good. Throw that on. Alright. As long as I don't mess up too badly, I can wait a little while, but in the next 40 seconds or so, I am probably... So I gotta make a decision, basically. I can either Kara spec right now, or I can try for a 2-down. I think I'm gonna try for a 2-down, but it might leave me with too low of an HP, but we'll see. It's also going to depend on whether these specs hit me or what happens that way, because if it uses Thunder Skulls and I get fucking blasted, then, well... At this point, actually, it'd one-shot me if I screw up the prayers or something like that. Okay, so time to spec is now... I think I was one tick too late. Shit, I should be using the blue potion. That's 5, and if this hits, which... Oh, it did. Okay. I'm unclear if this is going to be a 2-down or a 3-down at this point. But what I do know is that I need to survive long enough to get to 45% spec, so I'm going to drink 1 dose of the yellow potion. Actually, what am I even doing? I can just drink a white potion right now and not worry about it, because, like... Holy shit with this Thunder Skulls nonsense. Because I got lots of them. I kind of forgot about that. I forgot it gave me 2 of them. I was still acting as if I was going to have to Kara spec multiple times. Here's this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. Okay, it's on 60% actually, so... I think this could be a 2-down. I'm not entirely sure. It's gonna be 10 attacks, so 6, 7. I think just whacking with the BGS is actually, like, best case scenario for DPS. Oh no, it was only 8. Okay, so it was a rounding error. So even if I had played that perfectly, that still would have been a 3-down. Totally fine. Expected it after the, mess up when I didn't drink a blue pot, and then the first BGS spec missed, so I ended up with less spec energy there than I was expecting to have. We're in super good shape still, though. Like, this is like 100% clear chance. As long as nothing goes wrong from here, of course. %, and it's doing Thunder Skulls. F you, Thunder Skulls. I don't have to deal with you because I'm going to do this. So we have 17 seconds, 16 seconds. I'm going to keep this 50% spec, and I'm just going to whittle it down really nice and slow. And I'm going to BGS spec the next phase, because I can. Get everything all sorted out here. Prayer is nice and high. This arsehole is summoned, and blam! Oh, 62. Alright, I think that's maximum defense reduction. I'm pretty sure it's either 50 or 60 or something around that nature for the Warden. A little bit slow on my part, there we go. Did I get all the gear on? I did. I'm gonna move this to the top corner. And when I get to 80%, I might as well take the Scarab out of my supplies. I don't really need it. I mean, I've got literal shit tons of stuff, but I might as well. Speaking of stuff to do, I'm just going to overheal completely with this, just to, like, stupid mode full. Again, just because I can. There's no incentive not to right now, aside from the very slight amount of stat loss that's already been replaced. So open this and Skull Skip. And that was, aside from the very last phase here, that was the last scary thing that I really had to do. So how's everyone doing in the chat? Apparently YouTube's implemented a new feature since the last time I was live streaming on YouTube, where if you chat, you somehow become ranked as a fan. I'm not really sure what there's like a top fans icon at the top of my chat that I can see. People have got crowns as they converse. I think it goes stream to stream. I don't know if it's channel wide or really how that works, but I've seen absolutely no information about it from YouTube's end. So it's interesting to see random crowns on people in chat. You know, the funniest thing about that, Shub, is that the first time I said Thunder Skulls, I was in a Discord call with Adamant Wolf and a couple other people that were trying to teach me Toa. It was mostly Adamant that had decided that he would drag me through entry mode. And I ended up actually doing a solo entry mode on my own after watching him do it a bit. But I'd reverted them as Thunder Skulls right when the, shit, I forget even what Discord thing he was using at the time for music, what it was called now, but it had put on AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Because we had like a classic rock playlist playing through the Discord call. So that might have influenced the naming convention that I've stuck with. It's also the reason that I call the, I don't know what really to call it other than this, but the goofball. The previous phase of this, where you're fighting the, I guess it's phase 2 if this is phase 3, where it shoots the black stuff at you and stops you in place. I swear to God, goofball, somebody in a Discord, got hit by that every single time that it got used. Like, it was like she was magnetically attracted to it, and would get stuck in it every single time, to a point where I now call that getting goofballed. Ignoring the fact that that's probably an accidental drug reference. So, you know. Gonna be very complicated if I try to make a guide and start calling shit goofballs and thunder skulls. I might have to learn the correct names for things, but it's fine. If it works, it works. To be honest, I think people would understand exactly what I meant if I called them thunder skulls. They are a pain in the ass, by the way. If you ever wondered how to avoid those, you've got to stand either, like, 1 or 2 tiles, straight up, down, left, or right of them. If you're in any way diagonal from that, then you will get hit. Super annoying. So we dodge 2 rocks here, so that's the first one. Dodge the second rock here. Hope that we don't have to change our prayers. We'll auto-dodge the third rock by skipping, and we are golden. Probably not going to be paying attention to the chat from now until the end of the fight whatsoever, even if it does happen to move. Because at 5%, it's going to go turbo mode and start tripping balls. And I gotta lock in. Not an especially hard fight, and I've done it almost 300 times, but, you know, still possible to lose, and I'd hate to have wasted 36 minutes. Alright, we landed a 41, and just for shits and giggles, a 45, so it is maximally defense reduced. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. That's pretty much the whole secret of the Bofa, is the old 1, 2, 3, shoot. Just don't stand where there's a rock falling on you. Keep your prayers on the right thing. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Try not to shoot while there's a expanding circle underneath if you can help it. Probably gonna resummon this just for shits and giggles, and use the other scarab, because then I don't have to worry about my prayer whatsoever. And we're done. That was incredibly fast. Shit, we had 4 rows left. You'd rather just call it a goofball? I might just lean into that. I might be fine with that. So, did we get that in under 40 minutes? 36.48, so that puts me at 4.93%, and we still don't have a damn purple, but we are going to go again. But, goddamn. So, I've been actually curious about something, and I couldn't find any credible information about this. Does the tertiary loot actually substantially get better when you break off from, like, 295s up to 300s and it becomes expert mode? And it's been a pretty low sample size, because it's like 270 runs versus less than 20. But fairly consistently, I've gotten more money out of expert mode chests, I think. Like, this is low. I was getting like 6 and 700k sometimes yesterday, or whatever the last time I streamed was. So I mean, I don't know. Kind of seems to me like the tertiary loot value is about 1.5 times higher. But as you can see, since the loot tracker's been reset, I'm up about 8 mil in 24 runs without a single purple. If you're curious about my collection log, I ran an absolute shit ton of 270s to mostly try and get the Jewel of the Sun, and then the game gave me 3 of Jewel of Amascut within 20 runs, so that felt a bit insulting if I'm being honest. I do feel like I could probably get away with a little bit higher of an invocation. Mostly because of the way those BGSs just absolutely slapped at the end, but the big one that I don't turn on is Insanity. Insanity just makes that last fight 1 tick faster, so instead of it being 1 Bofa shot per move, it ends up like shoot, move, 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 shoot, move, which is fine, but if you screw up the rhythm of it, it's really hard to get back, I find. I'm panicked enough at a 315, so I'm probably not going to learn Insanity yet. I'll tell you what, we're going to run a 315 until I get a purple, alright? This seems like a solid raid. It's right around where I'm feeling comfortable. I'm thinking a 5% chance at a 4.2% chance at doubling my bank is fine with me. I'm not thrilled about it. I'd rather be able to get like a 10% chance, but still. Looking at the time. Yeah, I got time. We'll do one more. So let me grab my pre-pod here. And we'll just go right in. Now the real question is, what do I do if I get a staff? I feel like they're probably dropping in value right now, so the 900 mil that it would be worth selling the staff for is assuredly worth more in the various upgrades that I would get. But the sad thing is, if I wanted to use a staff, I would basically need to get 2 of them as drops. So I guess if I get a staff, I sell it, I buy max everything else gear, and we come back here and try to get another one. Oops, that sounds terrible. Oh good, it didn't switch my weapon. Okay, so now I need to start working on piety, and I screwed that up, so hopefully that kills him. Of course it didn't. Shit. Is that gonna be in time? Okay, it was. I think it was like 1 or 2 ticks off of taking a major chunk of damage there. That would have been bad. Okay. We're sort of unscrewed here. I'm actually gonna shoot that, since I've already hit this once. I get very overwhelmed with target selection in the monkey room. It's a very target-rich environment, excuse me. Like, why am I running Prey Mage right now, you know? Because I don't. Okay, whoops. Okay, we got that. That hopefully won't hit me. Beautiful. That one's coming for me. That got rid of most of those. Actually, that was about as well as that could have gone. I mean, I could have taken no damage, but... Okay. I don't need to carry a spec, so that means I've got both BGS barrels for Baba, just in case I need them. And I do not. 58. Done. Shit. Yeah, at least it put the rocks in good places. Please? Okay. Alright, so since I landed I think it was a 58 on Baba with the BGS, that BGS spec means that Baba is maximum defense reduced, and the Bofa is landing just about every hit. So I've got no incentive really, aside from maybe the fact that melee is better DPS against Baba, to swap out to this setup right here, because it's now at 36% already. 33. And I'll walk down here to avoid that, and we're already phased. Yeah, so I realistically could have just stayed in the Bofa, I think, in the crystal armor, but I don't think this is worth it, but I'm going to try for it. Okay, it was just barely in time. And now we got the old auto-fighting normal counter RuneScape thing. I think this is what people think of when they think of RuneScape content, where it's like, oh, you just stand there and wait and numbers appear and that's the combat, it's boring, right? They don't ever see the movement mechanics or, you know, the higher end kind of gear swapping, prey swapping, gear management, spec management, resource management, etc. I somehow shoved a rock underneath of Baba. Okay, didn't know I could do that. And of course, you asshole, you're going to use that, aren't you? Well, I'll spec you before either one lands. Tried to put the shadow under me right on the same game tick that the barrel would have exploded, so we just denied him that completely. And on we go to Kephri. There's only one puzzle I avoid in Kephri, and it's the obelisk room. If you like it, go ahead and do it. I don't, so I avoid it. If you're doing this solo, you do this room, then this room, then this room, or if you start on the other side, this room, then this room, then this room. Whoops, missed the button. Where is the red button? There we go. And we're out of here. Minute and 8 without the 1 in 5 chance of skipping one of those. Alright, we're running in here, we're BGSing. And to make sure I get that on time, we'll just summon that after, and both are a miss. That's kind of typical. Oh shit. Okay, no, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna have to run to here, though. I didn't actually take damage, so we're just going to pretend that that was an intentional strategy to tick manipulate Kephri into doing something later on. I just won't ever tell you what it is and pretend that that's somehow real. Of course it's not, I just completely fucked up and I'm lucky that I didn't take 48 damage from the overhead attack. Anyway, should be lazy flicking a little better than this. So I should get 2 attacks here and then I can move, and then it's going to summon the eggs, so I should move back to here because I get 2 attacks here. That was 1 and then 2, because I moved after the first one, and then 1 here. And then this is when the egg blows up. And as long as I don't get fecal coliformed, then we should be on the ranger now. And we're back to this. Genuinely, I don't know what my plan would be if I just suddenly made 900 mil off of a drop. I haven't really salivated enough about the concept of it to, you know, pull the old if I had $1 million on that one. But I think the very first thing I would do is just say screw it and buy full Torva, because I know Oathplate exists, but man, Torva just looks cool. And it'd be a direct upgrade for 2 of these pieces. I'm not really sure about the helm. I assume Torva is probably a higher strength bonus than the No It's Not helm, but I don't actually know. Plus, I think what people are doing is running Oathplate with Torva, Oathplate helmet with... Or no, Torva helmet, sorry, with Oathplate legs and chest. Something about the max hits, but that might just be relative to Scythe. Oh. So there's a question. If I got a 900 mil drop, I could probably do like a Scythe rebuild. If I just sold absolutely everything that wasn't nailed down, but at the same time, a lot of my wealth is things like the Bofa, which... Yeah, I corrupted mine, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep my Bofa. I don't know if you can uncorrupt it, but I'm not about to lose a bunch of money on finding that out. Because my god, is it ever decent against certain bosses. I would say the Bofa and the Crystal Armor setup was, by a huge margin, the best money that I've ever invested in this game. A while ago, right around the Fortis Coliseum coming out actually, I'd quit the game. I had literally emptied my bank in-game. I had nothing to my name. Right down to the quest items was gone, practically speaking. So, what I ended up doing was finding out that the Fortis Coliseum Wave 1 gave a guaranteed drop at the time of however many Sunfire shards it was. I think it was 1,000. So, within about 2 or 3 hours of doing that, I'd gone from having like maybe a 500k bank to like about a 10 mil bank. I just kind of gradually realized that, like, certain items would be super good for that, so I started doing things like, I think I bought a, what the hell is that shield that has the AoE spec? I can't think of the name of it right now, the Bulwark. But I bought one of those and was, like, speccing to kill the trio and everything, and I was trying to get it down faster and faster and faster, and long story short, I ended up making almost 300 mil from a completely broke account, effectively. So that was interesting. I think we're gonna go Het next and do a level 2 Krondus. Anyway, I spent pretty much everything that I'd made off of that on a Bofa setup, and then just sort of started over as a Bofa rebuild. If you're willing to do flipping methods, then generally, yeah, no, they can be really goddamn good. And since this orb is in my way, I'm just gonna... Oh, weird. What the fuck? Okay, apparently this changed the well, okay. Am I hallucinating, or did that just change where it told me to... It's fine. Everything's fine. I might have just had a stroke. It's fine. Completely lost my train of thought on that one. I didn't know that the puzzle solver could do that, and like dynamically change where statue placements were. Anyway, you stopped after Dead Man mode, yeah. So the reason I don't really do a whole lot of flipping, aside from the fact that it's, I don't know, it's kind of boring. I've done that kind of thing in MMOs for so long that I kind of made a decision when I came back to OSRS and started playing it in probably like 2018 or so, after taking a break since 2004. And that was, I won't do an activity that explicitly doesn't get me anything but money. Like, I won't do something where, flipping, for example, you make literally nothing but money. You're not doing anything, you're just buying and selling. I don't want to do that. I'm a little bit lax with the rules when it comes to things that aren't flipping, but in general, that's been sort of a motto for this account. I'll do things that are just for the money, like the only real reason I'm doing Toa is to get a shadow, so that I can sell it, so that I can buy something more useful to myself. Because realistically, I'm probably not willing to do something like, let me put it this way, if I had put the time that I've put into Tombs of Amascut into Vorkath, I would have a shadow, probably by now. If I had have gotten lucky while doing Tombs of Amascut, I might have 3. So it's been kind of like taking a financial hit to play a casino game, it feels like, or to gamble. But at this point, it's a little bit sunk cost. Like, I can't just stop after doing 300 runs of this and be like, nah, I'm not quite at the average number of kills to get the first shadow. I'm gonna stop here. I haven't gotten one. We'll just quit. Bullshit. I'm going for it. But we'll see if I regret that in another couple hundred kills or so. Given that they take a half hour apiece. 40 minutes, whatever. Alright, it's at 69%. The odds that I take it down to 60 are pretty low while I've got the orbs back on me. Like we're good here. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna throw. Use some super restores and get ready for this BS. So we got white, yellow, white, yellow, white. Cakewalk. Whoops. I think I double-clicked something there, didn't I? No, we're good. Alright. So we're going to go 60% to 40%, which means I'm going to have to switch to melee and probably even maybe do another center puzzle by the time that we're moving shadows, or I'll just hit a 51 into a 46 and damn near phase them all the way. Never mind then. Alright. I'm probably going to have to switch back to range gear. Yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. Because I don't want to run and end up with a bunch of orbs on the ground. The other reason I'm going to do that is because the next time it swaps, it's going to do the center puzzle, and I can get a couple extra shots as range. So we got white, yellow, black, yellow, white. Good enough. You know what? The Bofa is just doing work on this thing, so I'm just going to stay range, I guess. It's going to switch to melee next, so I might as well. Damn, I might not even really need to Karis that badly on this one. Oh shit. Except I just took a 25 because I wasn't praying in time, and oops. Never mind, now I'm going to need to Karis. That's completely my fault. Alright, range, so white, yellow, white, yellow, white. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drink up. See if we can hit high enough to... You know what, I'll even throw a spec in there for the hell of it. So I need to take 9% before it... You know what, we're gonna go right now. There we go, good enough. Perfect. Summon a melee. No, I missed it. It's fine. Summon him right beside you then, you bastard. Didn't need to move, but I somehow didn't take damage by doing that, so I'll take it. It's not panic clicking if it works. Alright, 3 out of 4. And if you're ever not entirely sure where the crocodile is going to come out, look for one of these corner areas that has the red faces in behind it. Need a little more damage than that. Oh, come on, don't do this. Since this is the last boss, I effectively have 3 super restores to deal with this one boss, so not too worried about that. I'll summon you, grab that, and missed. And 51, decent. Alright, are we doing waves or are we doing solve? We're doing the solve. Ooh, a little late on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and resalt right now. Since it's not really a panic time, probably a good time to resummon the Thrall as well. It's got about 10 seconds left. So we got waves round 1. I'll step over just in case there is, yeah, it's gonna be here. And then here. And finally, right back over here. Well, it did it again, actually. It's only a 1-tile move that I have to make on that. Sweet. I don't know what they did to zebak, but man, if they made the solves this easy, goddamn. Shadow's gonna be 500k at this rate. Still gotta do 1 round of waves, so I'm just gonna make my way back here. Perfect timing. Not gonna be able to shoot from this one. Shit. Okay. Oh, we're good. Oh, of course it did that. Okay, 4 out of 4. What? What did I do? You've completed the Grandmaster Combat Task Perfection of Krondus? Oh, I don't usually do expert mode, so there's probably a whole bunch of combat tasks that I've just never even... Okay, cool. I'll have to look at that after. Perfection of Krondus. Interesting. I probably just didn't take any off prayer damage or something. That's unfortunate. So we got 1 white potion, but we do have 2... what do you call them? Scarabs. I didn't want to grab the scarab. Okay. I gotta think about this a little bit. Do I want to Kara spec immediately is really the question. Didn't realize that you couldn't drink a salt potion at the same time. And I didn't have my prayer running there, that was good of me. We'll go for 3, screw it. And I'll move while I gear swap into that. Okay, so thinking about it, if I Kara spec this, it won't be a 2-down. But I don't need it to be a 2-down, because I've got lots of prayer restoration supplies. Also, I think I need to do that. I'm honestly not sure. If this leaves me with more than 17 HP, then I didn't need to do that, but it doesn't matter. I don't know how much it's going to leave me with, but I don't think it's going to be 17. Oh, 19. Okay, so that was a wasted potion. I need to make a decision pretty quick here. Because that blue potion isn't going to be... You know what? We're just going to Kara spec now. Because I'm going to take this hit anyway. Like, it seems that at this invocation level, unless I get very lucky with my damage, it's just sort of the way it is. And I have not gotten very lucky with my damage, as you see that 35 XP drop there popping up. Now remembering that I've got 4 prayer scarabs, this is still fine. If I take this damage, I'm going to be pissed, actually. I was going to say, if I take this damage, I'm just going to, like, eat through it. Okay, so I want that. And frankly, I am going to heal up with nectars at this point. I really just want to avoid using my ambrosia until the very end, if I can help it. I just like to have an oh shit potion during the last phase, you know what I mean? Like, don't blame me. Sometimes you get comboed out really hard twice, and all of a sudden you go from having a lot of HP to being half dead, and you just don't want to have to regenerate all your prayer all the way up, and then switch a weapon, and then hit a spec, and then realize you didn't have enough spec for it in the first place. Shit just hits the fan real fast when that happens, I find. Don't know if that's going to hit me or not, but I'm goddamn moving either way. I think that might have been fast enough. I honestly don't know. I'm going to try for the whack. So we got 4, 5, and maybe a whack? Damn it, it was 1 tick too slow because I was dealing with that Thunder Skull situation. That's fine. So since this is now 100% a 3-down, I could Kara spec again. I've got Blue Pot up. Adrenaline. But if I do that, hopefully it won't be a 4-down. That would be rough. I don't see how it could be, though. I don't know. I'll think about it. I might just White Pot right now, actually. And just be done with it. That way I can switch to this and slightly miss the timing there, but that's fine. It's only going to be 8 attacks, and I think only 7 of them are going to hit here, so it's fine. So that's 5, then 6, and then we'll go for a big whack for number 7. And it looks like I have enough time for number 8, but number 8 just wouldn't have hit because I was just 1 tick too slow. So everything's fine. But the faster I can get this phase down, the better, so I might as well just leave this on. I don't actually know if a Mage Thrall works at this phase, but it seems kind of a waste. It is bound and goddamn determined to hit me with the Thunder Skulls today. And so far I haven't fallen for it, but it's been close. Oh, don't you try and goofball me. Was not the time to stretch my hand. Okay. Could be good. Unless he goofballs me right now. Okay, we're over 50%, and you know what? I'm just gonna do that and speed this up, because I don't know... One way or another, I'm getting the BGS spec. I just was kind of hoping I might be able to get 2 if I go fast enough here. Shit. I did get 2, but it just cost me a lot of HP. So I've got to be a little careful here. Now the question is, what is the best way to heal? I'm kind of thinking Spec. Because nothing's going to do a lot of damage to me for a long goddamn time here. And if I were to do that, I could avoid wasting a lot of supplies. But I don't really need the supplies, so... Either way, I gotta wait for 75 spec energy, so as long as I just keep my HP above getting one shot, I should be fine, right? Alright, I got my scarabs. I'm gonna use one right now, actually. There's 70%. Almost there. Probably happened during the red skulls, right? Of course. I'll just deal with it later. I'm not in a rush, so I only need to worry about one prayer here. Excuse me. Nailed it. Wait, shouldn't I have had one more dose of salt? Did I double-click a salt earlier by accident? Because I'm feeling like I might have. I used one going into Krondas. I used one at Akka. And no, that's right, I used one at the start of the previous Wardens. Like at the start of Phase 1. So, okay, never mind. I don't know why I thought I should have more than that. So dodge one. Start clicking. Probably wasn't the best idea to use them, you know, before I needed to, but whatever. That was a misclick because I was looking at my inventory instead of my placement. That's fine. Let's drink 2 doses of brew and be right back on it. So dodge 1. Dodge 2. Shit, okay. That yellow click scared me a little bit there. Would have been fine, I would have had enough time to recover, but I don't really kind of enjoy having little heart attack moments like that at this point in the fight. Alright, getting ready for the double BGS. Just gonna resummon this now. 280 some XP drop is probably enough, but we have the spec, we'll use the spec. I saw an XP drop, but I did not see the number, and I know that it's fully reduced, so we should have just a cakewalk easy mode situation here, as long as I don't screw it up too badly. Which I am. 2, 3, shoot. Nope, okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing at this point. I'm just gonna drink yellow pot into that, and then I'm gonna switch prayers, and hopefully that's one tick later than it is. It wasn't. Totally fine. Not what I wanted to do at all, but totally fine. See, now this is what happens when you panic. This is why I like the 1, 2, 3 shoot method. 2, 3, shoot. And you only shoot when you know you're safe. So like there I had to take a 4th step, but that's totally fine. Same with that one. 2, 3, no. Okay, good. Just gonna eat that damage. Gonna resummon this guy, reuse this thing, and then white pot just because I have one and I can just be that lazy at this point. I don't really need to worry about it as long as I don't get comboed by rocks and prayer at the same time. Okay, apparently I can't just be an idiot about that because I'm getting my ass beat at this point. Huh. Okay. Well, if I lose now, then it's completely my fault for my hubris. That did actually panic me right at the end, just for a split second. But 35.43, so 4.88% goes up to just about 5, I think. 4.95. And we're still not ending with a purple. This has actually been horrible luck. But I am curious about a couple things. The value of the loot. 709k. Yeah, consistently been very high value loot on the expert mode, so I'm, with a low sample size, kind of thinking that it is a higher tertiary loot value. And I was curious what my combat task was. It was a Grandmaster task, and I've only done 5 of them, so it shouldn't be difficult. I completed Perfect Krondus and Perfect Zebak in a single run in the Tombs of Amascut. Okay. Because this menu sucks, I'm just really quickly going to Google OSRS Perfect Krondus and Zebak. Not zebra, whoops, Zebak. Perfect Zebak is a master combat achievement which requires the player to defeat Zebak without taking any damage from incorrectly prayed attacks, excluding his blood magic, poison pools, blood spawns, and waves. All of his invocations must be activated to complete the task at raid level 150 or above, and we just did a 310 of it, so that. Plus, Perfect Krondus is an elite combat achievement which requires the player to complete the Path of Krondus challenge room without letting the crocodile get to the tree, without losing any water from the container, and in under 1 minute. So apparently I did all of that during that run and didn't realize it, so sweet. Gotten to a point where I can autopilot that shit. Anyway, I've got no more time to do this right now. I'll probably stream some more Tombs of Amascut eventually, so maybe we can celebrate getting a staff another day. But thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to like the stream if you feel like it. And see you when I see you.